I'm going to bring out three amazing experts, and I'll ask them to come out now, and I'll introduce them. Marianne Fitzmaurice, Reilly.
Very good.
Meagen Eisenberg, and Andrea Ward. Yay!
Yeah.
Welcome, 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 ladies. Our amazing panel of experts. So happy to have you here. So Marianne is the SVP of Marketing for American Express. Meagen is the VP of Customer Marketing for DocuSign. And Andrea Ward is the VP of Marketing for Oracle Marketing Cloud. And so we have some incredible experts here. And given that journey we just described, Marianne, maybe you can start by saying, why is this topic relevant to you?
So you were mentioning how we were talking about it over breakfast, and there was a little bit of a write-up, I think, that Andrea did, and I said, you literally just put my new job down on paper. So in my past role, I was leading marketing for American Express Open for small business, which is a very customer-focused division. And one of the things that we realized in really focusing on how do we shift to more of a digital brand and really understand our customers through digital, and that's all great, but at the same time, we're this marketing machine. And as a marketing machine, it's very much of a channel focused. So there was an opportunity for us to actually take a step back and make sure that the customer is at the center of everything that we do. So what that requires is actually looking at the customer decision journey. So I'm now leading customer insights and marketing integration, which, as you can imagine, at a big company like American Express, means trying to connect the dots from a customer standpoint across everything that we do, which is really not the way that we're structured because we're very business unit siloed. So this customer decision journey research is really going to be foundational framework of understanding how our customers make a decision about what card to get when they're acquiring a card, what triggers them to think about, oh, I need a new credit card. How long does that decision take? It is a considered purchase. And what do they do to actually research cards? And we actually did find that they do research, and that the digital environment now actually puts much more of the power, as we all know, in the consumer's hands. So they truly are shopping for a card. And that at every touch point that they are making a decision to purchase something, they have a decision what card to pull out of their wallet. How do they make that decision, and what are the influence points, both from what are the attributes that are most important to them and what are the channels that are most important to them to communicate. So it's really putting that, it's the what and the how. It's putting that decision journey research and framework at the center of everything that we do and at marketers' fingertips. And then it's the how. So teaching them how to use that. So what does that mean in an environment where we are very we're structured in a channel-focused way? How do we actually make sure that all marketers are thinking customer first? How do we market to them along the journey and understand what's most important to them?
Such good points there. And Meagen, you do a lot with DocuSign to connect technology and customers. Can you share with us what you're doing there?
Sure. So we've been on a 3-year journey really connecting the dots of the customer experience and the journey, and really trying to think about using technology, how we target our customers, how we engage with them, how we convert them, and then how we have them as advocates. And so about 3 years ago, we really put a core platform in place. We put Eloqua in place as really our marketing database, connecting to our CRM, which happens to be Salesforce. And then we started adding on the technologies we needed to take them through those different phases. And now we have about 15 marketing technologies where more than half of them actually integrate into our platform. So there's nice API where we can collect that data and leverage that data. And it's all channels. It's not just email, it's social as well. And when we think about the different technologies we have running for targeting, of course we're out there what we call off domain, so not just our website, but how are we out where they're looking for information. And so that's things like using customer DNA technology to find our customers, things like Mintigo or Lattice Engines. We're out there doing display ads with Demand Base, which is targeting certain customers, Fortune 500 customers, as well as Bizzo, which was recently acquired by LinkedIn. And then as we bring them in and we want to engage with them, we're really, of course, we're using our email marketing platform, that main core platform, Eloqua. We are reaching them on social channels with technologies like Insightpool, which does the social nurturing that we are doing with our email. We are leveraging lots of just insights because this database allows us to collect all the information that's relevant so we can segment better and then target and deliver the right message at the right time as we bring them through their journey. And keeping in mind with that technology, how do we make sure they're only getting the messages we want them to get? Because we want them to convert, we want them to be with us, we don't want them to unsubscribe, we want them to open the message, we want them to be happy, and then of course when they come aboard, advocating. And so we've got kind of at that end, we've got technology like Influitive, which really allows us to work with our customers and engage with them and get them to engage on social and field marketing, different things like that. So yeah, love, just what we've learned from using technology, and just, you don't have to have a large team. It allows us to scale really quickly, and we actually have quite a large base. DocuSign is a 1,200 person company, but we are B2C and B2B. We have over 48 million folks on our platform, and in our database 17 million. So from a marketing standpoint, how do I make sure I am segmenting and targeting effectively to hit all the different ones? Because some are in real estate, some are in high tech, healthcare, some are in sales, some are in marketing. We have over 25 personas that we need to talk to. So we've got to really keep that in mind when we're looking at their experience.
It's so funny that segmentation kept coming up this morning too, because it's not just segmenting within a channel or with one data stream, but across all these streams and really making it effective. Could have a whole session just on that. But before we do that, Andrea, what's interesting about Oracle is you guys are out there helping your clients to really develop this marketing platform and figure out how to connect these dots. But you yourselves are learning through doing it yourselves because of all the different acquisitions and everything that you've been through. Can you share a little bit more about your perspective on this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've got one of the best jobs in the world, and that I've been a marketer for over 25 years, and before taking on this role, I was in the mergers and acquisition group at Oracle. So I have an understanding of both building great capabilities into existing technology, but also the value that bringing great technology into a company can bring. So we're trying to look at from the way we use our own technology is, first of all, Eloqua is also at the core of ours. And that technology was really built on understanding a customer's digital body language. So really tracking how a user is engaging across all of these different channels and bringing that data in and using that data as the core, and having that as that hub that then allows you to have some of these other technologies plug in. Using that data gives us a lot of flexibility in how we acquire, engage, and then continue to nurture relationships and have loyalty. And a lot of the technologies that Meagen spoke to are also technologies that we've plugged in, and they're app cloud partners. So through our interface, there's a way to pull them directly into your flow. So things even like offline, Cvent is an app cloud partner of ours. So we're able to pull in data from who we're inviting to events, who's attending events, and bring that into our overall customer profile. So I would say just having that data for me now as a marketer using Eloqua, it's been extremely. It gives me a lot of power in my conversations with executives to be able to come back and talk about how what we're doing across these channels is delivering real results. The other piece that's been incredibly powerful that we're using now is a product that we acquired called Compendium. Heard a lot about content marketing earlier, and content, when you think about a customer journey across multiple channels, delivering that right content at the right time is as important as the channel that you're delivering it into. So it's a technology that looks at content as data, It helps you curate content, so it really helps with that volume of content you need to create when you're thinking about a digital conversation. And then it also helps you tag it so that you can look at using it across all of these different channels in the most effective way. So,
The true art of personalized content delivery.
true art of
Yes,
personalized content.
there you go. So, clearly this space is difficult and challenging because of how fragmented all the different technology is out there and how to pull it together. But if you had to pick one or two things that you would say is net white space, things we don't know that we need to know to make a step forward in the space, what would it be, Marianne?
So I would say that the customer decision journey, I think it's really looking at how customers make decisions, and that being a key framework. We talk about the funnel is dead, and it really is dead based on what we're seeing, at least in the credit card space. And it's very much a new lens that's been very enlightening in terms of allowing us to, if we can figure out where consumers are in the journey, we can market to them in a much more targeted and personalized way, because it's not just where you communicate, but it's what you communicate. So we were talking, you heard earlier as Tom from Omni was talking about they know when you order ketchup with your meal. Well, we also know where you went out to, if you leave the hotel, where you went out to dinner, or where you went to see a show, or where you went shopping. Imagine the power of all of that data, and that's great, but it has to feel not Big Brother. It has to feel relevant. We are doing more and more with offers online, so that it feels, there's a system called My Offers, a platform that allows us to target offers to you based on your spend graph. So where you typically spend, where your location is, so that if you are walking by Whole Foods, you're getting a message that says, don't forget, you have an offer. That if you use your card at Whole Foods over the next 2 weeks, you get $25 off, or whatever the offer is. That's relevant, and that's targeting you and giving you a message at the right time, through the right medium. But there's so much more that we need to learn about that, and I think it really comes down to that decision journey and knowing what, when, and how is the best way to communicate to you.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the white space is not getting 1,000 emails and 100 in-mails a day. It's getting exactly what's relevant to me. And so I think as companies and brands, since so much of our decision-making processes off domain or not on our websites, it's the technologies that allow us to not only find you where you want to be found, but deliver the message to you as you're making that decision, harnessing your peers to message to you at the right time as well, understanding what we're doing in social more, and all the different channels, whether it's mobile, or online, or even in the field, making sure we arm our sales reps with the right message out there, and when they're networking and working, of course, in the field. So I certainly think that's part of the white space. And then when we do find you, that you open the message. So I think success is, large, 50, 60, 70% open rates. Maybe, the dream is 90% because we've all sent to the right person at the right time.
And if you think about all the progress we've made up until today, and you kind of erased it and you said today is day one, what do we need to do tomorrow to take a step towards where we want to go? Andrea, what would you suggest we do?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the most powerful things that we've kind of heard time and time again is thinking about data and how to use data. Most recently, we've acquired a company called Blue Kai, which is a data management platform, and it's really one of the first times between merging what we call advertising tech, ad tech, and marketing tech. It helps you manage your first, second, and third-party data in a very exciting way. So when you think about things like retargeting and being able to link that directly into your marketing systems and using that data more effectively, that's one use case. Managing second-party data is also interesting because it can create a proprietary relationship with you and a partner around data that you want to share. So think about American Express and Bloomingdale's, let's say, and they have joint customers around a credit card offering, and they just want to share their customer data around that particular relationship, then it creates an environment to do that. And then third-party data, things that you might not capture in your own systems. So demographic information, other purchasing patterns, and being able to take that data and append it to data that you capture within your own systems to do better lookalike modeling, identify new targets for you, new ways to go out and identify new business opportunities. I think that's when it starts to get super exciting. So I think for us, that's something that we're really looking to now test out and leverage and see results from.
Great. Any other tidbits from you guys, or do we have questions in the audience? We've got about 4 minutes left.
Well, I was just going to add on to that. I love everything that's going on around predictive marketing and just understanding, not only looking at your existing customer DNA and then go finding those folks that look like it, but also just helping your sales team as these leads are coming in, predicting which ones will convert fastest, when they'll actually convert, how much they're actually going to spend, because one of our largest expenses is our sales team and people. So if I can leverage technology to make them more efficient, I love it because I can help the sales leadership predict not only what's going to close, where it's going to close, but where to hire. Do I ramp up in healthcare, or do I ramp up in high tech, or higher ed, or wherever that is? I can use these technologies to help look at my funnel and say, okay, here's where we're coming in. This is where we're going to need to close, and this is what the future is looking like for our business. So, yeah.
How about you, Marianne? Want to?
Well, I think it is a really exciting time. One of the challenges we have, and what I think is the biggest opportunity, is having a more nimble approach to testing and learning. Being in a financial services industry, there's a lot of oversight, and it's not as easy for us to do things really quickly. But in this digital environment, that's the expectation of the customer. So that's really where all of this data is only as good as how quickly we can use it. I think we have great data. We need to connect our own internal systems to be able to use that data, not just through digital channels, but through every touch point that we have with our customers. So that's really where I think there's a big opportunity.
We have a question over here.
Yes. Lots of questions. Good. Okay, you're here.
Hi. So, we know with the evolution of marketing changing, sometimes sales wants to stay the same. So can you speak to maybe some of the challenges? And Meagen, it sounds like maybe you may be more advanced, not only in the marketing and sales alignment, but if it's true that marketing owns 70% of the funnel, they need to be doing things differently, and the communication between the two of you needs to be greater. So if you could speak to that.
Sure.
You go ahead. I'll
All right.
after you.
All right. Yeah, so marketing and sales alignment is really important for our success at DocuSign. Certainly, if I just look at last quarter, we had 130,000 sales-ready leads come in, and they can process about 20,000 of those at a time. And so what that means is, one, are we working with them to focus on the right 20,000? Are we enabling with them with the right content? And then what are we doing as marketers to take care of the other 110,000 leads to make sure they still go on their journey and have that connection? So yes, it's tools to get them scoring better, to assign. It's content. It's understanding what makes them successful, their revenue targets, having that constant, I say, habitual communication with them.
Yeah, and so having our business unit really start with Eloqua, there was sort of that natural culture in our organization. But as many of you may know, Oracle is a very sales and engineering dominated company. And so it's been very interesting for us to take our experiences and share that with we call them the big O. And we spent a lot of time with the sales teams and the sales operations team within Oracle talking about moving from a tale of two funnels to one true funnel or one true journey, and what that means. And when now, because our systems are connected, we're able to tell them what's going on in their business based on what we're seeing in our systems. Things that they would have never known had we not been connected, and had we not had a very strong marketing operations team ourselves. Now they're really coming up to us as advisors to how they should think about things and how they should make even some of their sales processes more predictable. So it's been a very interesting journey over the past 12 months. And I mean, again, some of these tools are just, they're very empowering for the marketer. It's been great, not only within our business unit, but greater Oracle. Yeah.
Thank you. And I know we are technically out of time, but I know we are definitely out of time. Okay, so if you have any more questions for these very insightful ladies, please find them at lunch and ask them their questions. I know there were some in the back.
Since we're running behind schedule.
Okay. Thank you all very, very much.